So you can probably imagine having to play a character that kind of has a bunch of hands in it, like creatively, is going to have you saying or doing things on TV or on the product that you probably are too proud of or probably don't want to say or do. And today we've got a video that is 10 times WWE wrestlers deeply regret what they did on TV. So I think this is going to have some absolute insane moments. And if you guys would like to see the content without me reacting to it, please click the top link in the description to check out the original uploader of the channel. I mean, the original uploader of the content. And show this with support and some love. If the algorithm has brought you to me, you can't leave now. Your family. Hi, welcome. I'm your very strange goth stepsister. Like, we're here. We're doing wrestling stuff. We're gonna check out wrestling stuff. Now, you can join us on stream to check out the content and react with us at the very bottom of the description. If you're a young one, you got to get out of here. I make content for the big kids. I don't want to say something that you're not supposed to hear, and then you get in trouble. I don't want to do that to you. Okay, come on. I don't want to do that to you. That being said, let's get right into the content.
1, 2, is this on?
Whether it's through booking or real-life decisions, wrestlers will make choices or do things they soon come to regret and would prefer to go back and change. Today, we want to explore some of these decisions and the fallout that came from them, as we list 10 things wrestlers regretted in WWE. In the scripted promo era, wrestlers would often be given dialogue they weren't comfortable with or would never normally say, but not everyone had the stroke or were in a high enough position to turn stuff down. This was the case for Shelton Benjamin in July 2009. Before a match with Japanese wrestler Yoshitatsu, Shelton was asked to cut a stereotypical promo, making fun of Japan and the accent.
Yoshi-san!
Oh no. Now who the fuck backstage did that? No, no. I feel like we're way better than that. Like even in 2009, we're way better than that. We don't know. We don't have to do that. I'm scared of what might be in the rest of that promo. Oh my god. Nah, that just sucks to even have this associated with you. Alright, this one I could definitely understand him not being okay with. It feels like a Vince thing for sure. The Liv Morgan face.
You pick wrong night.
No.
To come here. Stand back or I call Godzilla.
Oh my... Wait. Oh my god. Yo, was this when Vince himself was like writing the promos for the wrestlers? They had Jinder doing this? Oh, come on. We're better than this dude.
It's something Benjamin deeply regrets and wishes he had refused, as revealed in an interview with Chris Van Vliet in 2024.
To me, the biggest black eye of my career. It didn't reflect who I was then. It doesn't reflect who I am now. That's the one thing I wish I would have put my foot down and go, I'm not doing this.
Jinder Mahal was someone who also fell victim to awful writing. During his run as WWE champion, Mahal didn't want to just be another stereotypical
just vented.
The country that has given us Mahatma Gandhi and Mother Teresa has now given us the greatest champion of them all.
But tried telling that to Vince McMahon, who booked him as such, and insisted Jinder cut another unfunny and woefully bad anti-Japanese promo. This time it was Shinsuke Nakamura on the receiving end during an episode of SmackDown.
You gonna have him disrespect the King of Strong Style? You're gonna have him disrespect Shinsuke Nakamura, the owner of one of the best fucking beams in the company? Don't. I'm going back in time. I'm gonna knee Vince McMahon directly in the throat. I'm hitting him so hard, throat is going to have a K at the end of it. Throat. You're getting kicked in your throat.
Down from September 2017.
Shinsuke, you always look the same. They call you Miss.
But to have your champion do this, what are we doing here, man?
Mr. Miyagi, when somebody yells out, Godzilla, they will tell you look like Pikachu is having a seizure.
In an interview with Chris Van Vliet, Mahal spoke about being very apprehensive, but Vince was persistent.
So I even asked Vince, like, this is going to get negative backlash. He said, no, don't worry, who cares? did the promo, was not happy with it, not proud of myself for doing it. Really wish that I could take that moment back.
After receiving much negative
I don't
backlash
know
from the promo, the WWE
that's
PR
crazy.
team wrote an apology statement for Jinder to tweet, but McMahon told them not to post it.
Came up with a statement, and as we were about to tweet it,
They said,
he said,
don't
actually, Vince changed
post
his
it.
mind. He said,
Yo,
Despite being
Vince is
consistently pushed in a
bugged.
top position on WWE programming, behind the scenes, things were beginning to unravel for Randy Orton in 2005 due to substance abuse issues, as well as late-night partying.
But it was getting worse and worse, and I was gonna kill myself.
Both of which forced him to miss a rehearsal for his match with The Undertaker the day before WrestleMania 21.
Because I was up all night the night before, I slept in through the alarm and I missed the entire Undertaker rehearsal. That's probably one of my biggest regrets in the business.
Later that night, Orton inducted his father, Cowboy Bob, into the Hall of Fame. Randy was still going on barely any sleep and didn't prepare a speech ahead of time, something he would live to regret after how the induction went.
I had no notes, no speech. I went up there and I winged it. And it was probably less than 90 seconds. I was out of it. That was probably one of my biggest fails. It's not giving my father his proper due, what he deserved.
That's crazy. Like, being like a superstar that comes from, like, there was a generation before you. That sucks to not be able to honor them the right way. 'Cause I don't think those Hall of Fame inductions and whatnot come around often for everybody. Like, that might be your only chance to even give your someone before you their flowers. Like, I don't know. Did Booker T's wife just pinch his nip? Was that Charmel?
That's probably my biggest regret.
In another incident in 2006, Orton made a comment disrespecting Eddie Guerrero, who had just passed away.
Eddie ain't in heaven. Eddie's down there.
Oh, no. That's one of those ones where you got to ask who wrote that backstage. I don't even, as a heel, sure, I get it, but bro, nah. To even have this as like footage that is archived and people can go back and say you said it, like, of course he didn't write the shit himself, but like, Jesus fucking Christ. I don't know, man.
In hell!
Randy describes it as the most uncomfortable thing he ever had to do in his career.
100% was not comfortable with it. Ray and myself went to Vicky, and Vicky gave us her blessing, and she said the same thing. Eddie would have wanted to help you guys in this manner.
Triple H has never been shy when it comes to dishing out personal jokes.
Eddie,
I didn't like that at all.
Cough it up, Jumpin' Bean. I was thinking about writing a book on
This man, Triple H, is not afraid to have some racist shit. Yeah, there's too many instances of the fucker's scripts being crazy. There's too many instances of his shit just being wild. I remember the program he did with Booker T, and it was like, you did not just say what I think you said. Like, jeez, man.
Nutrition. Really? What are you going to call it? How to lose 50 pounds in 4 weeks?
Like when he made fun of Lillian Garcia by referencing a backstage joke that certain personnel, including commentators, have made in the past about Lillian resembling a horse.
Lillian wants to come back here for one night to the WWE just to horse around.
But there was one comment the game was forced to publicly apologize
Aw,
over.
that's
the
not
remarkable question
nice.
occurred during a media scrum, which was recorded by Inside the Ropes ahead of NXT UK's TakeOver Blackpool event at the start of 2020. When being asked about Edge and Page potentially returning to WWE, Hunter spoke about other wrestlers like Daniel Bryan, who'd also been medically disqualified, but ended up stepping back in the ring.
I would love to see them step into the ring and compete. More importantly than that, though, I'd like to see them live long, healthy lives. Edge has kids. Paige, maybe she probably has something she doesn't know of, but
Paul, I have to call you Paul. Dope, we're not. No, it's it. No, we don't reference those videos in the media scrims. Paul, That's not nice at all, dude. We caught you with like 3Ks. Save this. That was fucked up.
Thank you.
Triple H posted an apology on Twitter. Meanwhile, Paige had already responded, first with a tweet of her own, and then during an interview with Sportskeeda a few weeks later.
Obviously, I was a little bit perplexed, a little bit taken back, because like he's someone that I truly look up to, but I just don't think it.
It's crazy, right? Like you legit have history, like with her career though. Like Triple H. Come on, man. He was feeling himself for the moment and let that shit slip. I wouldn't have even gone there. That's fucked up.
Was appropriate to joke about.
Throughout their time together, the WWE always viewed Edge as having more upside than Christian. So after the two split in 2001, it was important for Christian to make an impression and switch things up. But he chose to keep the same appearance, something he now regrets looking back on.
You know, when Edge and I split up, I don't think I did myself any favors by not really
I know what she
changing
did with that belt.
the Christian part of Edge and Christian. I still came out as the guy that looked like Christian from Edge and Christian.
I was too immature and inexperienced at the time enough to realize I should have completely done the change then.
In 2002, Christian seemed to get lost in the shuffle until he joined the Un-Americans faction. Here, he was asked to cut his hair.
This is not the place to talk about the
Page. He wanted
Page
to wait until he was a single star again, which eventually happened the next year. The decision to have Nexus lose at the 2010 SummerSlam shocked fans. The group definitely suffered from it, but it was the way in which they lost did even further damage. While the call to have Nexus lose against Team WWE came from the higher-ups, it was up to the talent to work out the finish. John Cena decided that it would come down to him against Wade Barrett and Justin Gabriel, where Cena would take a DDT on the exposed floor only to come back and defeat both Gabriel and Barrett, recovering from the DDT within 90 seconds and winning the entire bout within 3 minutes. Despite pushback from the Nexus and John's teammates on the night, Edge and Chris Jericho, Cena went ahead with the planned finish, but later admitted he was wrong in doing so, as told by Wade Barrett and Edge on Inside the Ropes.
Yeah, you gotta work with the new stars so they don't get fucking absolutely flattened, right? Like I think that was like a really big problem with Cena, where bro was just Superman shrugging off offense and like crazy ass spots and was like, oh, all right, this man is bulletproof and we can't look cool. Can we look cool for once? Like can you struggle a little bit? Bro, I would be doing the Roman Reigns sell off that fucking DDT to the card tree. Like, oh shit, I died. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Fight Chris Jericho. Go ahead and fight Chris Jericho and Edge. I'll be back. I'll be back later. I'm taking a nap.
I guessed wrong on the way that the story was told, and I think that's why people are so up in arms about it. But we tell so many stories. I was wrong once.
You know, we got told that finish, and Chris and I went, oh, what? That makes no sense. They gotta go over.
Later on that day, we spoke to John Cena too.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, put him over, man.
SummerSlam needs to have a happy ending.
Roman would like the Terminator with his front.
I thought it was then. I think it's now. It was a bad decision, and that's how we did it.
Kurt Angle made his long overdue return to WWE in 2017, and while his subsequent run wasn't what any of us would have hoped for, Kurt's retirement
Cena's definitely a superhero for the kids,
at least been memorable. However, Angle's comeback had been marred by bad booking from the higher-ups, and unfortunately, this was set to continue. As in his last ever match, Kurt was to face Baron Corbin. The two had previously feuded, with their storyline coming to an end after a match on Raw, and despite 99% of fans and Angle himself campaigning to have John Cena as his final opponent, Vince McMahon wouldn't budge, insisting that Kurt
Angle's last opponent being Baron Corbin is yucky. They should have definitely let it be Cena. That would have been beautiful. That would have been beautiful, bro. All the way back to their prototype days. If you know, you know. That would have been great. Baron Corbin is like, okay, but no, I'm definitely gonna wrestle one more time in TNA, just cause I'm definitely gonna go wrestle fucking Kenny Omega or some shit. Like, it was dead. Fuck dead.
Wrestle Corbin. This was something no one wanted, and it tainted what would have been a memorable farewell for Angle.
Vince said, you know what? No, because you're doing a program with Baron Corbin. You have to finish this program.
Cena was
but I'll give you John Cena next year. And I said, Vince, I don't want to wait a year. He said, well, then you don't have a choice. You're going to have to wrestle Baron Corbin.
Why did you, Vince, man, this was out of touch, man. Yeah, that was a miss. That was a huge miss. And there's definitely fucking expiration dates on these careers. Like, some of their movesets are just, like, not feasible to do at, like, older ages. Like, I don't even want to see somebody, like, getting up there in age attempt to do, like, a suplex. So you got someone like Kurt, who's, most of his shit is, like, super fucking high impact German suplexes, moonsaults, and whatnot. Just, He was in there wrestling, and you really said, yeah, pull the trigger on Baron Corbin being your last match. Yeah, that sucks, dude.
I'm not crazy about wrestling Baron, only because of his status at the time. But I think maybe the company might have been a little bitter.
All right. Probably a popular opinion. Ric Flair should have never stepped back in the ring after that beautiful match with Shawn Michaels. Never should have stepped back. Let it end right there. That was so good. So fucking amazing. Emotional as hell. I didn't need to see him do anything after that. I don't believe in anything after that. What's going on, Park? How you doing? He needed the money. Yeah, I get it, but my headcanon for Ric Flair, it definitely stops right there. Nothing after that happened for me. Nothing after that happened for me.
About my departure in 2006 and, you know, heading to TNA for 11 years and then coming back.
Cena being Kurt's last opponent after Angle had been Cena's first match in 2002 would have been poetic and one hell of a WrestleMania moment. It writes itself really, so the decision not to do it will go down as one of the most mind-boggling choices in wrestling history. Zack Ryder took the wrestling internet by storm in 2011, and by the end of the year, he'd finally landed himself a featured role on TV. This after starting up his YouTube show, Z True Long Island Story.
Man, Zack Ryder.
It would all come crashing down for Ryder within a matter of months. He lost his girlfriend Eve in storyline and got pushed off the stage by Kane and was never
getting punished this hard for getting yourself over is like, that's gotta be so disheartening, man. Do have the wool off with Jay Lethal. That's true. The wool off that's iconic. We're allowed to keep that one. Everything else. Last Undertaker match, I would have loved if we got Undertaker versus Sting at some point. I don't know if that should have been the last one, but I would have loved if we got that while they were in the same place at the same time. Undertaker's a hard one for me to put. Because that is the man right there. Like, it has to be a super duper passing of the torch moment for me, for real. If it's the end, we never see him again, tightly, I don't know who I would need him to go up against. Just like Shawn never wrestled in Saudi Arabia. Never happened. That should never have played.
Were able to get revenge on either wrestler. The WWE had also moved his show to their channel, meaning it got watered down and wasn't fun to produce anymore. As a result, Ryder says he regrets giving WWE such control. Speaking about
I like the cinematic match they went with. That's a really good way to use superstars that are kind of aging out, right?
I didn't want to keep doing it. I knew
that's a way to keep them safe. It's a way to make them look strong no matter what. I like it.
Ryder believes he should have ended his show there and then. It had served its purpose after all. However, in 2012, Zack fell back down the card. He pretty much spent the rest of his time with the company either losing or wrestling on the C shows. At the height of his popularity, where he was a big merch seller and one of the most followed wrestlers on social media, Ryder believes he should have asked more questions of the higher-ups regarding his place on the card, as revealed during an interview with Matt Camp.
During that,
it would have been rough though, right? Because like fucking Vince, man, he gets like a boner for certain ideas and he sticks with them. He sticks with his guns. So like, I don't know how in that era he would have been able to fucking convince him. Like how do you convince someone who is so stuck like that, right? Like, you gotta fucking disappear for a week and come back like looking like you ate 3 Drew McIntyres. Like, you definitely have to come back looking like you absorbed yourself. You did a fucking Dragon Ball fusion dance. Didn't get Vince. Oh, goddammit, that's right.
time I could have easily knocked on Vince McMahon's door and been like, hey, what's going on here? why are we doing this? And I didn't do that. So I don't have an answer. So I blame myself. I'm not going to say WWE bury me. I think that's the cop out. That's the easy way out. And I never wanted to take that route.
Okay, so as a person who struggles to carry a case of water into my home, but that was actually really impressive. That was actually really impressive. Like bringing a case of water upstairs would kill me. With this, that actually has some pork.
Bury me. I think that's the cop out. That's the easy way out. And I never wanted to take that route.
During her time with WWE, it seemed like every week Torrie Wilson was put in some sort of bra and panties skit or bikini contest. It's quite surreal to look back on, but this was the sentiment from the company at the time. Though it's even more crazy now that we know how uncomfortable Torrie was participating in these types of segments, as she described during an interview with Chris Van Vliet.
I just had like a certain amount of like PTSD from like being so vulnerable out there and feeling like I was put in this kind of like raunchy role that wasn't
the lip fillers are lip filler and honey, yes.
Driven to tears but put on a brave face, owning each segment and pushing through the fear. Before facing Chris Jericho for the AEW Championship at Full Gear 2019, Cody Rhodes announced that if he lost, he could never challenge for the belt again.
If I do not...
You definitely almost kissed that man right on the mouth by accident, and they would have had the Jericho like, ew. That stuff. And Jericho's like, yo, I'm just... You're definitely pushed wide, bro.
Never challenge for the belt again.
If I do not defeat Chris Jericho at Full Gear, I will never challenge for the AEW World Championship again.
A decision that the company would have to uphold after Rhodes ultimately came up short at the pay-per-view. All Elite Wrestling
well, I'm definitely right there with you. Like, what the fuck?
So it's thought that the American Nightmare came up with the stipulation so that he wouldn't ever be seen as using his position to become world champion.
So to make political decisions like boxing myself out of winning a world championship, those decisions in hindsight were not the correct decisions. And if I can't be the best wrestler in the world on television because I'm afraid I'm going to offend colleagues because I am also their boss, that was the situation we were in, and I just played it in the middle. There was only so much of playing it in the middle I could do.
Over the next 2 years, Rhodes would instead compete for and become the TNT champion multiple times. But by late 2021, it started to feel like Cody had booked himself into a corner. If he could never...
Like, I guess they kind of wanted to avoid that sort of trope with WWE, where like they'll put some, if I lose, I'm retiring, and then the dude is just back on TV the next week. I guess they just kind of wanted to avoid that trope. But like, yeah, stipulation's definitely reversed all the time. But no one believes you're not gonna want to be champ, Cody. Like, no one would give you shit for it except for people backstage bitching and crying.
Challenge for the main title, what more was there to do in AEW? His run with the promotion didn't last too much longer, and Rhodes has since revealed that banning himself from challenging for the world title was a mistake. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out our similar video on 20 minutes of WWE wrestlers punished for going...
This is gonna be a banger video. We gotta react to this one too. That's fire. Look forward to that. Seeing pre-neck tattoo Cody is weird. This video is an absolute banger like all the rest of the videos. If you guys have not seen the original poster of the content, please do yourself a favor. Click the top link in the description to check out Wrestling Flashback. These guys are awesome. They're absolutely awesome. If you'd like to react to content with us live on Twitch, you can check the description for the Twitch link. I'm not telling you when I'm live. You got to catch us. If you catch us, you can hang out with us, but only if you're cool. You gotta be cool. You gotta be cool. If you made it all the way to the end and you're not subscribed, by the way, I'm going to find you. I'm going to take any of your devices, and I'm subscribing on 3 accounts on your devices. You're going to join the fold. Assimilate.